And
All
that's
right.
what you said. So,
People won't know it, but this is our third time starting the show.
sometimes the third time is the charm.
Let's hope.
And
Energy's good.
hello,
Do we
everything
not?
looks good
We
on
never,
my
we never talk at the same time.
end. Well, I'm Melinda McKinsey.
I'm Tom Wise.
We are going to unpack some shit with you
Yeah,
today.
baby.
That's right. I'm very curious. I'm very excited about my topic. So please share with me yours because I cannot wait to share mine.
Okay, mine are Prettiest Woman and 30 Rock and He Showed Me and Really?
I love that I don't know what any of those are about. Okay, my topics are saying I love you,
Oh.
security camera surprises,
Ooh.
looking for men versus women, women versus men. I did a lot of research last night on what we're all looking for. The top sexual fantasies from men and from women. This is a
Really?
study by over 4,000 people.
Wow.
Yes. And customer service.
Oh, those are fabulous. And then 4 hours later, we'll be saying goodbye.
I know.
But save those for another show because I'm gonna do two of mine and whatever yours, right?
Yeah. I mean, we always run out of time, which is it's like when you go to a really great party and you're just in the right place and you have this really great conversation and you never want it to end. I feel like that because I feel like we always have you'll mention a topic that I'll know nothing about, and it gets very interesting because your perspective and my perspective are so very, very different.
Can I say something? This reminds me a lot of when I used to be on Home Shopping as a host. It's
Okay.
odd. I mean, outside the obvious, but it's as you've described the time element of the show. It used to be, you'd say 3 hours is a long time, but at Home Shopping, every minute was precious. So you were always moving, and it was inevitably the fastest 3 hours of my day when you'd sit down. And it's like, you don't want the clock. Unlike everybody else who's watching the clock, oh, it's taking forever. It's like the clock is your enemy. Those are the best types of jobs to have is when the clock is your enemy.
Yes.
And you've got to get more stuff to do and you're racing to get stuff in. And it's not like, school work where the clock's your enemy,
Right.
but work. When the clock's your enemy at work,
Yes.
that's a marvelous thing.
Yes, it is. We can never finish our topic. So, all right. So for your topics, oh man, I don't even know. Do you have a favorite? I don't even know what to choose.
I want to do the He Showed Me. He Showed Me and Really. These are quick ones. So some guy Facebook friends me from California. No
Okay.
mutual friends, no nothing, but he's some sort of guy out in California. I go, well, maybe there's a business. So I friend him, or I accept his friendship. This must be what women get all the time. He's in my direct messages immediately. Hey, what's going on? He wants to sell me something, securities or something. I suppose women feel the same way. They accept someone's friendship and they go, hey, babe, what's going on?
Yeah. Usually what I do if someone sends me a friend request is I see how we're connected.
Yeah.
And like, for example, one of your friends that had commented about our show friend requested me, and I have a private account. I don't do fan pages. So I looked him up. I looked at his page and he seemed okay. So I said yes, because he seemed okay. I would never just say yes to a rando guy. But then again, if this guy started, hey babe, what's up? Then I would get rid of him because if you want to try to have some banter and some fun, cool. But if you're trying to fuck me, that's not the way to do it.
Was that guy Matt Davis?
No, Matt and I have a very long and complicated relationship.
A little bit of it.
His response for the day was "God bless America, innocent until proven guilty." I was like, we disagree on some things, so
that's all right.
It totally is all right. If you want to disagree, here's the thing that I'm noticing that I was unaware of previously. You can't have an opinion in this country. You must agree with the masses.
Could you imagine to find somebody you agree everything on with everything? That'd be insane. That would be so limiting. There would be nobody that would agree with you on everything.
Right. And the distinction seems to be at this point in time, if you disagree with someone, instead of having a healthy back and forth dialogue of learning and discovery, you're berated for being a moron because you don't believe what the other, and then when you ask the other person, could you give me something to look at or some research? They go, do your own research.
Educate yourself. No, that was fun yesterday on Facebook.
That was emotional for me because I know some people on there, and I was just like, man, come on. Here's the thing. Say whatever you want to say, but when I see people becoming defensive or protective of a political figure, as if they're their spokesperson or their person related,
Yeah.
I have concern with that.
Why the investment? I don't give a shit about Joe Biden. I hope he does a nice job. I'm not invested in him.
I'm not invested in Joe Biden.
I mean, people love Trump the way they have never loved their mom, or the way they've never loved their spouse or their kids. It's crazy. I said, well, because Trump has two huge, disconnects. The one is he's never come out and said take the vaccine. He wants credit for the vaccine, but he doesn't. But his followers don't want to take it. They don't, because he's convinced them the government's corrupt. So there you go. So
Yes.
And then another one is the voting in Georgia. Voting is corrupt. By the way, go ahead. We need those 2 senators, and get out and vote. I go, what are you saying? That's it. All I'm doing is identifying 2 huge disconnects. You can't say both things at the same time. Your followers, their heads are going to start spinning.
Right. And I've noticed, at least in my own personal life, when I point out the disconnect and say, hey, I'm trying to connect these dots, then I get attacked for asking the question.
Right. All I'm saying, my whole thing is I made just the simple proclamation that Trump wants you to take the vaccine, and
Right.
I'm ready.
Yeah.
So it's like, is he a Trump supporter?
Yes.
I don't want to take that vaccine, but I love Trump.
People, but here's the funny thing. Like, you really just sat out a beautiful trap, and people jumped right in it. They just jumped right in it. So I sat back and had read, and I'm like, okay, does everybody understand that they're jumping in the trap? And then they're fighting with the other people in the trap.
Yeah. If you come in with an illogical position, you can't win.
You can't win.
It usually ends up at yelling or shut up or whatever it is at the end.
And are we trying to win, or are we trying to learn some stuff?
Yeah. Just say, that just admit that Trump's message is confusing. And I'm not judging him. I'm just saying the message is confusing. I'm not saying good or bad. I'm saying the message is confusing, and you should be aware of that. And I don't understand how you can, you love him to death unless he says take the vaccine. No, I'm disconnected. So Trump has created, because he loves the vaccine so much, but he's never told his followers to take it.
No, it was the minute I saw your post, I was like, should I have a glass of wine before I read this? Because I had zero desire to dip into that pool.
Right.
Because I knew how I felt, and there was no change in anybody. I just watched from afar.
Right.
Laughed at a couple of things.
I had to get rid of that one guy who was going.
Yes, well, it happens. You're always going to get that. But
and he was on my side. I had to get rid of him.
I understand. No,
I said, if you're going to, because I'm going to guess more people are going to engage on my side, and the few people that are against my position, let's just be reasonable. Let's have a reasonable conversation. No name calling. No, you're, educate yourself and crap like that.
That's all it is. But it was, thanks for that yesterday. That was a thing.
So, so now I'm selling the house. So I just talked to my broker. It looks like it's going to be another week or so, which is fine. So it means I'm here for Christmas.
Wait, it's not a house. It's a ranch. It's a property. It's not just a house.
It is what it is. But so I've come to the conclusion I'm just going to give away stuff. I've got a bunch of returns here at the ranch, in the garage. I mean, I've got pallets of things.
I know. I wish I was there. I'm jealous.
And so I said, and I put up an ad for $10 for a $150 card. And then, literally I sold none of them.
People don't appreciate when things get to value. They don't understand, right? They don't know it's a deal. They think, why?
Yeah. So I put it on Craigslist. So the ad was on Facebook for $10. Okay. I put it on Craigslist for free.
Okay.
Because I'm thinking it's also, Christmas.
Please.
It'd be a nice gift.
I'm so jealous. I'm so jealous of the people that are going to get all the great stuff. Because Anyway,
so then there's one guy. hey, I'm coming up from, I'm coming up for an hour away. Are you still good? I said, yeah, I'll save one for you. Make sure that if you're going to drive an hour, I'll make sure you get, how many you got? I said, well, I got about 30 of them. I've got more than that, but I said, I got about 30 of them.
Yeah.
Oh, all right. I'll see you in the morning. Okay. He says, I'm coming up. You still got them? Yeah, I got one. He goes, can I get 10? I go,
Come on, man.
I said, a lot of folks want these. How about 2 or 3?
That's so greedy. I'm
And
sorry.
and he's like, oh, I'm not going to come then. I don't give a shit. You think I'm going to have trouble giving away $150 cards?
Those are the same people when you have a little token for 25 cents, they're like, I'll give you a nickel. I've
It's
had that
crazy.
drop sales and I've said, I'll donate it for free before I give it to you for a nickel, you son of a bitch.
It was insane. It was like, I don't give a shit.
No.
Who? I'm asking you not to take 10. And he's like, I'm unemployed. Because I said a lot of folks are using these as Christmas gifts.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. I said, there's a lot of hurting out there.
Yes.
Because I'm leaving them on the curb. People can do as they would. Are you familiar with a Gaylord, with the term Gaylord? It's a shipping thing.
No.
Okay, a size of a pallet is about 4 feet by 4 feet. You think
Yes.
of a wooden pallet? Well,
Yes.
imagine taking a huge box that's 4 feet by 4 feet and now maybe 4 feet high.
Okay.
One
Yeah.
singular box. That's called a Gaylord, 4 by 4 by 4. And then loading that thing up with, how many lights, what are lights and things I
Sure.
can get in there. It would be, you could argue that's hundreds perhaps.
Yes.
I put a Gaylord out on the street. Somebody must have come by and just emptied the thing. I mean,
I'm sure.
it was nuts. It's not, at the end of the day, I just want the stuff gone.
Of course.
Right. But I'm like, really? You got to take 50 of them? So one guy was shoveling them into his car as I pulled up. I said, like, really? You got to take all those? Whatever.
This goes to my topic, security camera surprises, Tom.
I mean, once you put it out there for free, it's going to be what it is. So
It is. I mean, you hope for people to be civilized. Unfortunately, they're not always. We have a security system at the house. We have cameras all around because we live in Brooklyn, right? And the reason we have it is so if we're not home or anything happens, we're alerted if alarms go off. I don't often just look at the cameras randomly for grins because I don't care. Well, yesterday my neighbor says, "Hey, Melinda, my car was parked at the side of your house and it got hit. Can you see if your camera has anything?"
Ooh.
So I know that's what I thought.
I like it.
I always wanted to be a private detective. So I went out and looked at his car. Tom, his car wasn't simply hit, it was demolished. An entire side. So here's what I'm thinking. The entire side was crunched. His license plate in the front was turned upside down. It was more than a hit. So I'm thinking the road that is parked on is a one-way street. I'm trying to deduce who would cause this much damage, and they left it, right? Because chunks of his car were out in the road.
Can I make a prediction?
Yes.
The circus was in town. An elephant rested on his car. Is that what you saw on the camera?
I like that. I wish. I did find 3 different cats that came up on my porch that I hadn't expected.
Really? Look at that.
I leave out a little shelter and some cat food because I noticed a stray cat. So now I know I have 3 different cats. Anyway, here's the thing. Here's the juicy stuff. So I said to my neighbor, I know, Catavision. We all need it. Last time you used it, you won trivia. So I said, Jay, what time did you park your car? I'll look from that moment on to see, right, what's going on. I noticed, this is why I thought I was such a fucking MacGyver. I was like, so he said he parked at 11 and then I see the debris in the road. So I start scanning through to find the debris because the way my awning is on my house, I can only see the bottom part of his car. I can't see all the traffic, right? So I'm hoping whatever car hits him, I can see the plate. But here's the thing. It's a one-way street. So I'm thinking someone maybe went the wrong way on the one-way once they crossed the light because it was a lot of damage. So I'm thinking I'll see car lights, cars backing up, people in the road.
All right. Are you going to take a commercial break before you get to the answer? Good heavens. We're all at the edge of our seat.
So I scroll forward. I get to 7:00 in the morning and I'm
Hold on.
No one's doing this in daylight. I assumed it was the middle of the night. So that's why I started at 11 p.m.
When
Here's
we
what happened.
assume
What do you think happened at 7 a.m.?
it's not the circus,
What happens?
it's a garbage truck.
Yes,
Took that mother out.
it was the garbage truck.
I
You can
knew
hear
it.
it on the camera. Crunch, crunch, crunch. And he just keeps on going. He doesn't even stop.
What does he think? It was a demolition derby he's
I
driving in?
don't know, but my neighbor was so happy when I sent him, because you can just
Oh,
copy
yeah.
it over. I sent him the video, and he said lawsuit. He's very excited. But I mean, they tore the hell out of his car. Don't tell me. I mean, do you think he had earbuds in, or
Oh,
he
I
just,
thought I was back into a camp.
well? But here's the other thing. So then I notified my neighbor next to me, because we often park in that spot. It's parking is at a premium, and I said, hey, I'm going to send you this video. Keep in mind on trash days, maybe don't park at the end of the corner, because
Oh, you
right.
just wanted to show off to your camera.
Oh, I was so excited to tell my neighbor, look what I found.
Oh, this is a warning, a general warning.
No, he's a very nice man. He's
I,
he really helped me with a lot of stuff here in the neighborhood, getting to know stuff. But
you,
as a neighbor, wouldn't you want to? I would want to know. Do you wait until the car gets hit and go, that one time?
I know it, but it's great information.
It's great
all
information.
justified. This is give you a heads up. Are you
I
going to post it on your Facebook? Why
no,
not?
I don't know.
Are
Should
you kidding me? Absolutely. You should link it to the show.
Okay, I'll do it to link it to the show.
Yeah.
I posted less on Facebook because I feel like people have been super critical and just kind of rough lately. So I've been really backing off of Facebook.
Come on in. You can't handle the heat.
Well, I mean, yesterday's debate that you had on your page was exhausting.
I mean, was I mean to anybody? Well, I wasn't. No.
If anybody could have posted that, it would have been you, because you did post it in a very open way of like, hey, I'm ready. And you couldn't tell like what side you were on, which is great because we're all on side.
That's what I choose to. Anybody reading that would not know which way I leaned.
Yeah, no, it was actually brilliant because listen, I told you I like to fight. I do. I like to argue about stuff.
I want people to have an intelligent decision, intelligent defense of their decision. That's all I'm asking, is an intelligent defense of your decision.
And for someone who I do lean on my emotional expertise in those debates, you cannot do that. This is based on facts. And that has been my biggest disagreement with anybody that's on the Trump side. Give me some facts. Don't just throw at me. Educate yourself. Show me where you're getting your information.
All right.
No, they're not giving me information because it's not based on fact. It's based on some emotional, like, oh, people have always hated Trump.
Did you see the I hate talking politics. I apologize if you're coming here for a respite from politics. But the Supreme Court decision yesterday, did you follow any of that?
I feel like I was up on the news, but which decision? I feel like there's been so many things happening.
He was petitioning to
Oh,
have Pennsylvania, the whole election nullified. And
yeah.
and then I love the setup. The setup is him giving a speech yesterday.
I didn't listen to that. How was
He's
it?
in treating Congress people, judges to have a backbone and do the right thing. And some hero is going to step up into the breach and make this all right. And he's like, he's like telling almost threatening, not threatening, but embarrassing. If you're a judge and you don't do this the right thing, you don't love America.
Right.
So he had an emergency petition to negate all mail-in ballots or something from Pennsylvania, right?
Yes.
And it made its way to the Supreme Court, and they sent him a letter. It was a piece of paper like this.
Yeah.
No Supreme Court letterhead, no nothing. The date, December 8th. And then over here it said, yeah, your petition to negate whatever. Yeah, we're not even going to look at that. Best wishes.
Yeah.
So the beauty of that is his dream is to move this entire case to the Supreme Court. And those 3 justices that he put on the Supreme Court are going to protect him and defend him and, give him what he wants. This tells the world That's never, ever, ever going to happen.
Yeah.
That's the final nail in the coffin. There may be more dancing for the next 20 days or 30 days or so,
Yeah.
41 days. And he may be, but his whole goal was to get this whole nonsense up to the Supreme Court and have those three guys that he's put on the court, plus the other four justices or three justices that are conservative, to
Yes.
come on his way, that they were going to Supreme Court this thing to him.
Yes.
But that's it. It's not going to happen. They're not even going to hear his nonsense.
No, I think that was the headline I saw yesterday, that the justices that he appointed, that he thought he could count on to protect him. And again, that's not why you appoint justices. I'm sorry.
That's what he does.
Well, of course, that's what he does, and his people will deny it. But again, there's been so much in the news. I would love to just have everybody start ignoring him, because he just has so little substance. You know what I mean? It's
I
just,
know. It's all. What does he just wear he's like, he reminds me of Matthew Lesko. Do you remember Matthew Lesko?
I
He
don't.
used to be in Home Shopping, and he had and he would publish a book, a size of a telephone book, about how to get free money from the government, essentially, start a small
Okay.
business.
Yes, I
You want to go
remember.
back to school, blah, blah, blah. And he was great. He's good, a character. And he used to dress in a suit that was a bunch of question marks.
Yes, I remember
He
Matthew.
looked a little bit like the Joker.
Yes.
I'm saying, why doesn't Trump just get a suit made out of the American flag? I mean, he just wants to be, Army this and American flag that, and be, someone steps into the breach. It's like, who buys this pandering bullshit? It's all pandering bullshit.
Yeah. I think the sad thing is, it seems apparent that Republicans aren't necessarily buying it, but the general population who's not really invested or understanding of politics believes it, right?
Yeah, it's
And
sad.
because, yeah, I mean, here's what we should be learning. There's truth and there's fiction. And just because someone in power makes a statement, it doesn't make it a truth. It's up to us to figure that out and then move accordingly.
Right. And I always wonder, am I the one being, gaslit? Am I the
Oh,
one following the wrong?
believe me, I
You've got to have that thought. You have to have that thought.
yes. I keep digging in. I had a conversation with Christy last night about some things that were going on. And I was like, hold on, am I the crazy one? Let me research this, because
Right.
holy shit, and it is a scary moment when you think I've been wrong, but it's also very, very good to do your research, not to prove you're right, but to make sure you're looking at everything and making sure things can flip. You can be wrong about stuff.
Absolutely.
I've been wrong about plenty of things in my life. It's
I'm
okay.
watching this YouTube that somebody posted on Facebook. It's about how Hillary and Obama and Biden were behind. They never killed Osama bin Laden because they had a fake person in there, and SEAL Team 6 killed a fake, and then Obama had SEAL Team 6 killed. I'm going, what are you talking about? This is how you want to live your life? And people are excited about this. And I mean, this is some guy dressed in a suit with a news background, and he's doing these broadcasts. I go, what's going on?
Yeah.
How can you live like this? It's crazy.
It's easy to sway the masses. I mean, the small bit I've learned from this is all the people that are falling on either side. There's no Republican, Democrat on either side. All the people that seem to be falling for the made up stuff seem to be people that have a real need to be connected to something bigger than them, right? They're like, this is right. This is the story. This is this, and then they feel special and they feel connected. I get it.
I get that the government has been wrong, and the government has done bad things, and the government has burned up a lot of their goodwill. They burned up a lot of their goodwill in Vietnam for a lot of folks. Uh-oh,
Yes.
am my horses out? Hang on, I can see.
Oh, sometimes Tom has to leave the show because he has a Batman phone, and then I just have to act like it's normal. Okay, for everybody on iTunes, he literally got up and walked away. This is how important Tom is. I will keep the show going. Tom stands up and walks away. So I'm going to change the subject. I think we've talked enough about government and politics and stuff. And since Tom has walked away, I'm going to choose my own topic, and I am going to talk about what men and women are looking for. It's very different on either side as I'm sure everybody can understand that men and women, but I thought that this quiz was very interesting. What they did was they took 4,000 men and 4,000 women, and then they asked them, I forget the number of questions, like 350 questions, to get more of an understanding of what men and women truly wanted. So Tom, I'm in the middle of this men and women thing.
Thank you.
So
When the neighbor calls, I always think some of the horses are out.
no, you gotta answer the phone. So what do you think, for women looking for men, according to this 350 page, questionnaire with 4,000 women and 4,000 men, what do you think the number one thing that women are saying? Now, remember, this is not a superficial, this is a very deep thing. What do you think the number one thing a woman would say that she truly wants when she's looking for a man?
The number one feature that the woman wants in a man. And we're talking about something like faithfulness, hardworking, big earner, broad shoulders,
Or
ice blue eyes.
you're good at figuring things out. Remember, there's 350 questions, so it gives people an opportunity to really dig into what they truly want, not what they think they want, but what they truly want. And I was surprised at what the man's answer was. It was very different than the woman's, but it's not that complicated though. What do you think a woman, when she meets a man, really just really wants? Number one.
Best friend.
That's so very close. Chemistry.
Okay, well there you go. Chemistry, yeah.
Chemistry. It makes sense, right? When we talk about chemistry, about how, well, it's okay you can text all day long, but until you're in the room with that person, you don't know. Okay.
Oh no, because texting can be really fake. You can text somebody you think you're in love, then you meet them at the bar. It's like, there's really that much going on here.
People are so different when they text versus how they are in real life. It's kind of crazy. So for men, keeping all this in mind, that they're not joking about, oh, I want big boobs. What do you think men really want? The number one item that a man wants in a woman in a relationship? I loved this answer and I was very surprised by it.
And it's not big boobs.
I gave you that hint.
The number one thing a man wants in a woman.
It's deep down in his heart, not superficial.
He wants support and respect.
That's not the number one, but that's a good answer. And it is an answer. The number one, check this out, Tom, confidence in her own skin.
Oh, yeah. Nobody likes an unconfident woman.
I love that answer.
Yep.
And that's deep and that's really beautiful. And that's something a lot of women, if they recognize that, oh my God, everybody would be so much happier, right? If you were confident and that, I feel like a lot of women will kind of cater to a guy and be more like what he wants her to be, as opposed to being herself. So I'm just going to go down the list to not drag it on. So
please.
Women are looking for men. Chemistry, number one. This is women looking for men. Number two is vulnerability. I like that. And that's a very real and true.
Wow.
Right?
I'm surprised you get these answers.
I know. Three is stability. I thought it'd be higher up.
Were they given a list of options, or this free thought?
It was a combination of they were given choices and they could also write in their answers. 350 questions, 4,000 men, 4,000 women. Chemistry, vulnerability, stability. Next after that, equality.
Equality.
Awareness, emotional presence, curiosity, and protectiveness.
Wow.
I know. I'm like, where is this guy? So here's what men want. We already decided the number one was confidence in her own skin. These all surprised me because I know nothing about men. So I was like, oh, how about this? Number two is to know what she wants, which is really kind of very similar to confident in her own skin, but to know what she wants. And I think that's really heavy because a lot of women, again, will kind of wait to see what the guy wants before she will say. A strong woman doesn't do that, but it's difficult. A lot of men, honestly, are kind of shaken by a very strong woman that says, oh, I'm doing this.
Yeah, I guess.
I mean, not good guys, not guys that are okay with a woman doing that, but men I date. Okay, number one, confidence in her own skin. Number two, know what she wants. Number three, clearly communicates.
Oh, that's a big one because a lot of women will like they expect you to read their mind. I mean, that's a thing because it's a thing. You know, it's not a thing just to say it's a thing. It's a thing because it's a thing.
It's a real thing. Clearly communicate. Don't give me body signals. Say it with your words and mean it.
Right.
The I don't care is not an answer. You
Yeah.
care. You
It's weak.
clearly care.
It's exhausting.
It's exhausting for everybody. So clearly communicates. Then number 4, I thought this would be up higher.
But if you get a woman that really doesn't care, the relationship is done.
You're right. You're right about that. But I think that falls into the same category of women trying to mold themselves towards their men. And that's why, where do you want to eat? I don't care. They do care because then when you say Taco Bell, they go, I hate Taco Bell. Well,
Why are
then
you? Yeah, exactly.
call it. Okay,
No, it's hilarious.
right. Number 4, I thought it would be up higher, respects and admires him. Did you notice that wasn't on the woman's list?
So the women aren't interested in being respected.
Well, they're more interested in awareness and emotional presence, which I think would come with that. Right? So that's number 4.
No,
Number 5,
respect is key in a relationship. Once a woman doesn't respect her husband or her lover, that's over too.
it's done. It's so done.
He needs to look at him like, he's an extension and a protector and a person of value. Once she doesn't look at a man like her man like that, then they're done.
Yeah, everything is over. Because what's the point?
Yeah.
Then you're just hating each other all
Yeah,
the time.
we're just hanging out.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so number 5, I liked this. Does not need him, but desires him.
Yes.
Right?
So this is a man's list.
Man's list.
Doesn't need me, but desires me. Yeah, we don't want to be like, oh, she needs a handyman because her house is falling apart.
Where are you? What are you doing? What are you thinking right now?
We'd like to think that you can handle that. I think that's kind of a nice, interesting vice versa. You've got your life, I've got my life. We enhance our lives by spending time together.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That was number 5. Number 6, and you're going to like this one. And you hear this a lot on the dating sites. Are you ready? You want to guess? What do you hear a lot on the dating sites?
Well, with the dating sites, where are all the good men? What?
I mean, I guess maybe I see it more because I'm the female looking. A lot of the times men will put on their very top of their list when they're looking for a female is drama, manipulation, and pressure free. Now, there are 2 sides to that coin.
Yes.
It's possible that men are feeling drama and feeling pressure when women feel like they're communicating. It's possible. But it depends on where you're coming from, right?
Yes. It's interesting because everybody has a little bit of baggage or situation when they come into a relationship.
Yes.
And there are things like some person could be between jobs or has a crazy ex or has 4 kids or, physical problems with the house or whatever, their car. I mean, everybody, I don't want to date a woman with 3 kids, car problems and a crazy ex. I mean, no matter how stable they are, they're juggling these three things will affect our time together.
Yes. Yeah, it's a big deal. Okay, number 7. I thought this would be up higher on the list. What would you guess men would request or want in a woman? But then when it comes to this test, the truth of it actually falls farther down the list. What's the joke? The number 1 thing guys say they want from a woman. What's the joke?
What's the joke?
Yeah. What are women good for?
Sex.
Thank you. Thank you. Likes and wants sex is number 7 because when you really dig into stuff, we all love sex. But how good is this sex if you're not being respected? If the drama is gone, sex isn't good if you have all that other stuff on top of it.
Oh, by the way, I've come up with an interesting line.
Yes.
Right.
Okay.
I'll say what the beats are, but I don't know if I've got to get the phrase right. So you're having a conversation with a pretty lady, I'll make it me. And somewhere it's like at an appropriate time, you
Yes.
say, I found that the prettiest women are best in bed. So then when it comes time for sexy time, she's going to want to think that she's a pretty woman, right?
Do you want my honest answer?
Of course.
um,
This isn't in the first 10 minutes. This is
yeah,
4 dates in.
yeah. I, I guess that doesn't appeal to me. Because oh man, I have a lot of feelings. I
I
wouldn't.
mean, if some guy you're on your third date, you're having dinner, and he looks at you with the eyes, and he holds your hand, and then he says that.
I mean, to be honest, my first thing is, oh, you're trying to compare me to other women, so you want me to be competitive with your partners of
Oh,
the past?
that's interesting. No, that's a good call out.
My first thought is go fuck yourself, which I know is not healthy. It's my first response to a lot of things in my life.
Yeah, that's always triggered. That's always loaded in the first cylinder.
Right? Because my first thought is a defensive thought. My defenses say,
This
you
is
want
why
me
this is why I try out my material here.
right? My first thought is you want me to be defensive. I'm thrilled for you if you've dated beautiful women, but since we're in this relationship now,
You're stuck
how would
with
you
me.
feel if I started bringing up some guys that maybe had bigger dicks?
I'm saying all in all, it's a conversation that has a context. People will talk about previous lovers, I mean,
Yes.
yeah, not let's have long-term conversation, but people will say, oh yeah, I used to like it when, one lover rubbed my feet or something like that, or one guy used to rub my head or whatever the hell it was, So I'm just saying the conversation has to be in context.
It's I love this conversation, Tom, because I will tell you in my own personal experience, when I've been in a relationship, not once has it ever worked in my favor when I've had a dialogue about a previous lover. That men don't appreciate knowing. I think every guy wants to act like,
Yeah.
even though you've had sex with other people.
It's got to be a very clearly. This is a conversation you have in your 20s, but as you're older, in your 50s and 60s, it's a given. You've had a lover or two along the way, right?
But then if I go, Chad gave the best massage before sex, Chad would be in your head.
I don't want to hear anybody's name.
Oh, see.
Shit about Chad.
Yeah, and honestly, as much as I know men have other lovers, unless I ask the question, I don't want to hear how much you think about them or the tricks that they've done.
No. We're not talking about specific tricks.
So yeah, I'm gonna say if my guy were to say to me, "Oh, beautiful women make the best lovers" or something, it would take me. I would get defensive right off the bat.
All right, it was one of those thoughts I had as I was drifting off yesterday, and I just talked it into the phone.
Maybe an emotionally stable woman would have a different response.
Look
but that's mine.
Yeah.
So
go ahead. What was the next one?
No, that was it. I read all of them. The last one was likes and wants sex, and for women, the last one was protectiveness. They want the men to be protective.
How nice! That's
I
very
know.
very interesting.
Yes. So, what's your other topic? Because you had some hot ones.
I had the other one was I did the he showed me, and really that was the guy that just friended me on Facebook and started pitching me securities.
Yeah.
And the other one was I don't know if we have time for this. Maybe I'll just throw it out there because
Okay.
I got to go pick up my girls for lunch. I told my beef team about 1 o'clock. Anyway, it's like, here's an interesting thing. A lot of times artists will, you get a guy who writes a movie. Very often he does it by himself, or certainly a painter, an artist, Van Gogh, Dali,
Yeah.
It's an individual pursuit.
Yes.
But then I think it's something like, and it's like, wow, if somebody was over his shoulder, really, do you think you need that crotch, or does everybody's head have to come out? I think the melting clocks were popular. Let's put a few more melting clocks in there. If he had somebody in his head all the time, like a manager or a director, it's like, he may not have been, we love these guys because they're free thinkers. They're doing their own thing, right?
Yes.
But then I look at a show like 30 Rock with Tina
Best show
Fey,
ever written.
best show ever. And that's a collaborative effort. That's a collaboration. Guys are, there's a theme, and then people build and build and build. I'm saying, so what's the difference between this which is a collaborative effort, which probably Tina Fey left her own devices can give you 80% of this.
Yeah.
She's not going to give you the 100 because somebody's come up with additional building blocks. But you don't want to be in Dolly's shit. Let Dolly do what Dolly does.
Yeah. Yeah. You know what? That's a really good point. Because don't you feel like in most of our jobs, that's where you and I are fairly fortunate. In most people's jobs, they've got someone over their shoulder all the time. You and I have people over our shoulder intermittently, right? For the most part, we're left to our own devices, which is the best way, bless you, which is the best way that I work is leave me alone. I'm a competitor. I'll do the best that I can.
Right.
If I've done live shows where the vendor was on set, it's the worst thing possible. They're pointing and
you're not saying the exact words they wanted to say at the exact time you want to say them. So you've got to, as a vendor, you've got to give your guest a bucket of 10 things, 3 things. Okay, if I only have 3 things I can say, which 3 things should I always say about the product? So just give me that stuff and let me get it out at my time when I think it's right.
Yeah. I don't think anybody's their best when someone is on top.
No, because I've watched shows, and then I've been guilty of it too. I'm watching somebody. Why did they say this? Why did they say this? Why did they say this? It was funny. Kevin Harrington and I wanted to try to get Kevin on the show. I don't know if he's ever come.
Yeah.
Kevin, we would do an infomercial. I produced an infomercial, and it was like, "Ooh, you got to get that up front." That particular demonstration.
Okay.
And then 2 minutes later, "Ooh, move that up a little bit." And then I said, Kevin, I'm not telling him anything he doesn't know. The man's a genius. I go,
it can't all be in the front.
We can't. 9 things can be number 1.
Yeah, no, that's absolutely true. And you know what? I guess that's also a good statement to make what we were just talking about in relationships of you have to let that other person be who they are. You can't constantly be
of
correcting,
course,
right?
exactly. Let's be encouraging. Let's be river-like rather than wall-like. Did you write that down? Did anybody write that down?
Someone write that down. You need to put that on a shirt.
Oh, I was going to wear my shirt. My sugar hole shirt.
Oh,
my T-shirt.
Wear the sugar hole next time.
I'll do it. I'll cue myself.
That's a great idea. All right. Well, so if you have to go get your girls, do you have a beautiful tip of the day? And we will talk about men and women's sexual fantasies on Friday.
I want to hear that. So no, I've done my 4 tips.
Okay. I wrote down a couple of tips because I recognize now that we need them. I learned this online. I thought it was fascinating. If you work in customer service, like in public, right? And people are coming at you, they said the smartest thing you can do is put a big mirror behind you because people are less likely to attack you and go after you when they see what they look like.
Wow, that's brilliant.
So I'm going to walk around with the mirror behind me at all times.
That's very interesting. I don't think I've ever seen a customer service with a mirror behind them. It's very interesting.
Probably for a good reason. They're probably not encouraged to do it. They're always in a little tiny hovel, right?
That's a very interesting. I could see that at Best Buy, somebody walking up and then they see themselves, which is somewhat disarming anyway.
Yeah.
And then you see how angry you get. It's like, this is how people are seeing you. That's an interesting thing. That's very interesting.
No, I really like that. And I want to wrap with live your life like you're not going to be here forever. I know we talk a lot about this, but I think especially now we're caught in the minutia. Live your life like, you know what? None of us are going to be here forever.
It's a guarantee.
It's so valuable. And if you're having a bad day, it's okay. Allow it. Feel your bad day. Remember, none of us are here forever.
Amen. All right, love. Well done. That's another one in the can.
Yes. I'm Melinda McKinsey.
I'm Tom Wise.
And thank you for unpacking some shit with us today.
That number 61 in the can, number 62 coming up on Hanukkah, the 11th.
Ooh, all right, then. I'll get some Hanukkah questions.
Well, Hanukkah begins at sundown on the 10th. All right.
All right.
Well, have a wonderful day, everybody. And we'll see you, the good Lord willing, and the creek don't rise on Friday.